About the book. The Bone Collector is a 1997 crime thriller by Jeffery Deaver. It is the first in the Lincoln Rhyme series, introducing Lincoln Rhyme, a talented forensics expert who becomes a quadriplegic after a tragic accident. The story pits Rhyme in a deadly game of cat and mouse with a methodical serial killer who leaves mysterious clues at crime scenes. He recruits Amelia Sachs, a rookie New York Police Department cop, to act as his eyes and legs at the crime scenes. The novel is known for its fast pace, clever plot, and sophisticated forensic details, earning it praise as a thrilling adventure and compelling. In 1999, the novel was adapted into a film starring Denzel Washington as Lincoln Rhyme and Angelina Jolie as Amelia Sachs, renamed Donaghy in the film. More recently, NBC produced a television series called Lincoln Rhyme, Hunt for the Bone Collector, which premiered in January 2020 but was canceled later that year after one season. The Bone Collector. Jeffery Deaver. 10 scene details plus hints. Scene 1. The Underground Nightmare Plot. A couple takes a taxi from the airport to New York. They are kidnapped, the taxi disappears. The husband is found dead underground in a horrifying position. His body is buried in the sand, only his hand is exposed, along with a mysterious piece of paper. Hint: a dark underground tunnel, a half-buried corpse with a hand sticking out of the sand, a police flashlight shines on a mysterious piece of paper. Scene 2. Lincoln Rhyme, a disabled genius. Story: Lincoln Rhyme, a former forensic expert, is now immobile after a spinal accident. He is depressed and thinks about committing suicide. But when he hears about the strange case, his intelligence is immediately awakened. Hint: a paralyzed forensic detective lies in bed at home, surrounded by medical equipment, but his eyes are still sharp and intelligent. Scene 3. Amelia Sachs, a young policewoman, becomes an unwilling partner. Story: at the first crime scene, Amelia Sachs is instructed by Rhyme from afar. She must carefully observe every detail, not missing any traces. At first, Sachs is hesitant, but then shows her sharpness. Hint: a young female police officer of the New York Police Department is carefully taking pictures of footprints and evidence at the scene of a violent crime, communicating through a headset. Story: deadly clues. Story: the killer leaves behind haunting scenes, human bones, antiques, old book pages, all leading to the history of New York. The second death occurs when a victim is tied up in an abandoned power plant. An abandoned power plant at night, eerie shadows, a tied-up victim, strange antiques scattered like clues. Scene 5. The couple begins to get along. Story: Rhyme and Sachs gradually form a partnership. Rhyme gives detailed instructions on how to collect evidence, and Sachs becomes confident in his abilities. Story: a wheelchair-bound detective gives precise instructions to a young policewoman through a headset. Crime lab equipment glows. Plot: Scene 6. Race against time. Plot: another victim is trapped in an old coal furnace, minutes from burning to death. Sachs rushes to the rescue while Rhyme nervously monitors the scene on the radio. Theme: a tense industrial coal furnace scene. A policewoman rushes to save a bound victim. A fire breaks out nearby. Plot: mysterious past revealed. Plot: from clues, Rhyme realizes that the killer is obsessed with New York's criminal history. He reenacts brutal murders that happened centuries ago. Plot: a table covered with old maps, historical documents, and crime scene photos lit by a single lamp. Scene 8. Amelia becomes the target. Plot: the killer stalks Sachs. At the crime scene, she is nearly murdered by him. This makes both of them even more tense. Clue: a tense night alley in New York. A mysterious figure stalks a young female cop. Danger lurks. Scene 9. Confrontation in the apartment. Plot. Suddenly, the killer appears right in Rhyme's apartment. A battle of wits breaks out. Sachs intervenes in time, saving Rhyme from the clutches of death. Clue. A dark apartment, a paralyzed detective in a wheelchair confronts a masked killer. A sudden struggle when a female cop bursts in. Plot. The case is closed. The killer is caught. Rhyme gives up on his suicide attempt, decides to continue living, and cooperates with Sachs on new cases. This is also the beginning of the Lincoln Rhyme series. Theme. A sunrise through a New York window, a paralyzed detective in a wheelchair, less body, a strong contrast to Amelia Sachs, young and full of determination. Constant tension. Each chapter is a life-saving countdown, not letting the reader put the book down. Minus points. Some dialogues are a bit Hollywood script, and the killer's motive could be explored more deeply. In conclusion, The Bone Collector deserves to be one of the best detective novels of the 90s, opening a beloved series that has lasted for many years.